This Yahoo boy and his girlfriend were kidnapped by a group of cultists. They were taken to a bush where they were beaten mercilessly, robbed, and then eventually killed with a cutlass and with a gun. Stories like this are why if you make a little money, try to stay low. A lot of young people are so quick to want to show that they have wealth. Even those people that make it legitimately get a target on their back. Talk more of when your source of wealth is publicly known to be fraudulent. 22-year-old Oriade Adebisi was a student of OAU in Ogun State. On the 28th of May 2018, he and his 18-year-old girlfriend, Julian, aka, were said to be heading back home after visiting a friend in his vehicle. Now, they were around school campus area when this happened. On their way going, a motorcycle stopped in front of them, blocking their move, flashing them a gun and a cutlass. There were three men asking them to stop, because now there's a gun pointing at him. Instantly, the gunmen joined them in their vehicle and drove the vehicle to a bush. Now, this kidnapping happened publicly, first of all, in a busy junction in Oru area in Ogun State. Many people saw it happening, but not enough for people to want to stop it from happening. Oriade Adebisi was a popular boy. People call him O Dollars. So, as a young boy at 22, even as a student, people know him for his money, and people knew that he was a Yahoo boy. People knew that that was how he made his money. Sources also said he might have been a cultist, but that was not confirmed. His 18-year-old girlfriend, Julian A.K., is unclear if she was a student, but it's also possible that she was a fresh student in the school too. Julian was only 18 years old. This was a child. This was a baby. She knew nothing other than the fact that this young man, who is good looking, who seems to live well, loves her, and she loves him back. Maybe his source of wealth was not a question to her. Maybe it's not something she thought of. Maybe it's not a problem. Who knows? Adebisi might have been a good person, aside the fact that he was into fraud. He was into Yahoo. However, their relationship would meet an end that would have been prevented if certain choices were made right. The man who organized the kidnapping and the eventual killing of this young couple was named to be 29-year-old Murtala Babatunde. Babatunde was a dropout of the same school where Adebisi was attending. He dropped out of school to focus on cultism. He was a member of the Black Axe confraternity in the Ijebu North area in Ogun State. And his major problem with Adebisi was that Adebisi failed to recognize him as the number one in the area. That would have been the first problem he had with Adebisi. And the only reason he felt that Adebisi did not regard him as the number one Aye court leader of the Ijebu North area was because he learned that Adebisi, being the Yahoo boy that he is paying homage to other court members. He's paying homage to other members of other confraternity. He's giving money to other court leaders in the Ijebu North area. He felt that Adebisi should also give him money. In his head, he feels that Adebisi owes him because he too is the capon of the Black Axe confraternity in the Ijebu North area, to be specific. So many times, he tried to get this boy's number. He had tried to introduce himself to him. He would tell Adebisi, see, what's up, have fun now? Na me be the capon for this area. Na me be the, you're supposed to be giving me. Obviously, as a dropout, this is what they usually do. They become entitled to other people's money. And Adebisi's problem was the fact that he was flashy. He was popular. And I think this is where his downfall began. Yes, he was making money as a Yahoo boy, but he just couldn't help himself. Everyone had to know. He did not hide it at all. He made sure that the whole world knew that he was not on anyone's level. And he felt confident in himself because, again, he was paying homage to other court leaders, to the area boys. So he had some sort of freedom. They respected him. They hailed him. He would most likely not be in trouble and nobody would bother him because, yes, he had paid his homages to those cult groups. However, there was one cult group that he was not giving attention to. Or should I say, there was one cult leader he was not giving attention to, which was the Black Axe Aye confraternity leader, Murtala Babatunde. And this pissed Babatunde off. He hated the fact that this boy pretty much was ignoring him. And so what did Babatunde do? Babatunde decided to plot his kidnapping. to teach him a lesson. One reason he might have wanted to do this was because he claimed that another group had done it to him, and it was since they did that to him, he started paying them homages and started cutting some money for them. And so it came to his mind to do the same thing. And how he did it was he called one of his girlfriends, Seun Yetunde. He asked Yetunde to monitor Adebisi. And it seemed as though Yetunde knew Adebisi's movements, probably through his vehicle. He had a white vehicle that anyone could spot from afar. So Yetunde was doing the Lord's job. And one day when Adebisi decided to go and visit a friend in the neighborhood where Yetunde lived, Yetunde picked up the phone and called Babatunde, telling Babatunde, see, the guy you asked me to monitor is visiting his friend. After now, he would most likely head back home. So if you want to kidnap him, this would be the best time. And instantly, Murtala Babatunde called two of his fellow court guys, and a 10-year-old boy named Taiwo Razak, who joined the court in 2015 when he was only 15 years old. Wow. And then he called another guy named Sadiq. Now, not much is known about Sadiq because he wasn't arrested at the time. So he's not sure if he was eventually arrested. And that was how Babatunde, Taiwo, and Sadiq jumped on a motorcycle and then waited at the junction and then waited at the junction in Oru area for Adebisi to pass. And eventually Adebisi passed. He was in the vehicle with his girlfriend, Julian. And when they passed, they chased down the vehicle, urging them to stop the car. Eventually, they got in front of the vehicle, pointing the gun. Instantly, Adebisi panicked for his life. He was scared. His girlfriend was scared. Babatunde urged the both of them to go to the back seat. He took the steering, while Taiwo and Sadiq sat beside them in the back seats to make sure they did not run out from either of the doors. Babatunde drove the vehicle to a bush, had them knelt down, asked him to unlock his mobile phone. It's unclear what he meant to do with it, probably transfer money, or maybe he just wanted the password removed from the phone so he could sell it or use it. It was an iPhone X at the time, so probably one of the latest phones during that period. After that, he took their shoes and their valuables before eventually killing them both. He may have also attempted to burn their body, but the burning may not have been so effective. The worst part was that he abandoned the car in the bush. He never had any use for the vehicle, probably because he knew that it would be quick and easy to trace him with that vehicle, because everybody knew Adebisi's car. He was a popular guy, so people knew his vehicle. And I think that was why Babatunde left it in the bush. They were killed on the 28th of May 2018. However, it would take about 1 week before their bodies would be found. Now, remember they were kidnapped in a busy junction, so somebody most likely saw something. And when a relative of Adebisi began looking for Adebisi, he reached out to a few people who eventually told him that Adebisi might have been kidnapped. And that was how this relative reached out to the police, and the police began looking for them, and their investigation started. I think through the mobile phone, they were able to immediately catch Babatunde. Babatunde and Taiwo were immediately caught and they were arrested. It would have been easy for them because people talk, people speak. All they have to do is catch one or two people. And he too was probably already notorious. So it was quite easy. It was most likely a suspect. And I'm sure Adebisi may have told one or two people that he had issues with this guy. And when they went to Babatunde's house, they saw the iPhone that belonged to Adebisi. They saw his SIM card and they saw his shoes. And pretty much he had no way of escaping it. And listening to Babatunde's confession, he made it seem as though that he and Adebisi were rivals. He made it seem as though that it was a kill or be killed. I feel like his confession in that note was just to make it look like he too was scared for his life. He claimed that Adebisi had threatened him, that Adebisi was also a buccaneer, and that he was a second in command, and that Adebisi is, telling him that whenever he sees him, he will kill him, so he had to act fast to kill him back. I don't believe that story, because how do we go from he's giving other court members money to not giving you money? He even claimed that they did a deal, that Adebisi cornered him and kept all the $6,000 to himself, that were the ones who worked on it together. These are just things that he said to give him a reason, But when criminals or killers are caught, most times they cook up stories to dilute their situation, to make it look like they had a fair reason to do what they did. I mean, you're a 29-year-old man who is a dropout, and you're afraid of a 22-year-old boy. I personally believe that he did it because he had been asking this boy for money, and the boy had refused to give him. He had felt so entitled to his money, and the boy had refused. We've seen stories like this. We saw the one that happened in Port Harcourt. It's similar to this. These older court people or older failed Yahoo boys always feel entitled to the younger ones' money. And when the younger ones don't show up the way they want, they find a way to kill them. Because if you are the one that is older in this Yahoo thing, why is the younger one the one keeping the money? Why are you not keeping the money? Why are you jumping bike to go and kill him? Where is your car? Where is it? It's always the broke ones that want to feel so entitled to the younger one's money. They get so jealous, so hateful, so spiteful, and so entitled that they find them and kill them. Not for anything, not because he even wanted the money. Because if it was the money, he would have transferred the money from the boy's account to his account. But he probably never did, because the money was never the problem. It was just the fact that this boy was not regarding him. This boy was not showing him the attention that he needed. Because for you to quit school to focus on courtism, it shows that this courtism was really his day job. And when somebody in the area, a young boy who is making money, is recognizing other courtists and not recognizing you, you felt the need to lash out. Because you have nothing else going on for yourself other than the courtism. He eventually led them to where the body was, and the body of Adebisi and Julian were recovered. It was already in the bad stage of decomposition. They also recovered the vehicle that was abandoned there. I'm surprised that all this time nobody went to that bushy area to see it. I guess that usually happens. Babatunde eventually confessed and admitted to killing them, but only he and Taiwo were arrested. His girlfriend, Yetunde, who did the snitching, she was also the one who brought the weapons for him, because maybe she lived in Babatunde's house and was like, okay, I'm bringing the gun and the knife for you people. So she played a role. I don't know why she was never arrested. The Sadiq guy was never mentioned to be arrested. I don't know if they are still searching for them or they are just somewhere walking in the surface of the earth. But police, if people are watching in Ogun State, don't forget this case. Go and find that girl and find the Sadiq and lock them up too. They should remain in jail. It's just an unfortunate story. I remember the story when this happened because this was around the period of time we're trying to get our channel going. At the same time, it's just sad though. If this boy had just kept it on the low, I don't know why a lot of young Yahoo boys always feel the need to show up and show out. There's always this need for young people when they get into these fraudulent activities and make a little money. They want to really live young and live fast. The pressure is there. I get it. If you're one of those people, it's bad enough you're into fraudulent activities. Let's not normalize it. But as bad as it's bad, you got to know that only an evil eye can see another evil eye at a go. When you live that kind of life and want to put it out there, you're doing nothing more than attracting evil towards you. I'm sure there were many other Yahoo boys in that campus, but they probably laid low and probably used their money for something else. They probably jumped buses and jumped bikes. They didn't need to buy cars at the age of 22. They were not dating 18-year-old secondary school girls. They were not going out there putting their lifestyle in the faces of people to show that they've made it in life. Because when you do that kind of a thing, it only attracts people who want to hurt you, who want to take what you have, who feel so bad about their own lives that they failed so much that it's yours that they want now. Even policemen get attracted to those kind of lifestyles, and it makes some policemen turn into bad people because they will look at you and go, oh, this small boy, what are you doing with all this money, safe? And that's how people always underrate you. If I was at DBC and the bike just stops in front of me, that's your point, I would jam that bike, and that's what I would just jam the bike. Maybe he's a 22-year-old boy, so he's a small boy. Last is a small boy. He saw gun and panicked, so it's just what it is. He's a small boy. He was afraid for his life. And when it comes to kidnapping, God forbid, and never pray to want to experience it, but if there was ever a situation where I'm in a public place and somebody wants to take me to a corner, to a bush, I would rather you shoot and kill me where everybody else would see. Because I am not following you to no corner. You're not taking me anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, because the moment they can take you to a bush, to a place quietly, you're done for. But in a public place, you have a chance. Even if they shoot you, you have a chance that they can rush you to the hospital quick enough. And you have a chance that somebody would see something and the killers will be found immediately. But to kidnap somebody in the middle of a busy road and take them to a bush, I am going nowhere with you. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video to any of your young Yahoo friends that you know, or your female young friend that you know who is a young girl who know the career I see Yahoo boy, whose type is a young rich boy that is balling. You young girls always wanting to date boys that are making it. You don't even care how they make the money. You want to jump into their vehicle. You want to be in the passenger seat and be the princess of the car. You don't even know how they're making their money. These are the things that comes with such a lifestyle. And this young girl, Julian, probably as innocent as she is, lost her life by just dating a boy she did not know his source of money. It's unfortunate.